So I thought it'd be fun to throw out some price predictions just so we can look back on this and see where we're at.
Yep.
Let's give these predictions, let's say 1 year from now. Let's say Halloween 2023. What are the prices that we're going to see?
Yep.
So I want to go through not just the coins, but the land, Illuvitars, Illuvials themselves. Let's just see what we're thinking.
Are we gonna do rapid fire right down the line?
Yeah, let's go right through. So let's start with ILV.
All right.
What do you think 1 year from now ILV is going to be?
ILV 1 year from now. Got to factor in the macro economy here.
Yep.
Get my economist hat on. Really think about this. I think 1 year from now, I could see ILV. We got a game out. People are excited. Let's go $225.
225. I think that's a pretty good guess. Yeah, so when you're thinking of the overall, like, just crypto market, I think it's early spring 2024 where we're going to get the Bitcoin halving.
Yep.
And hopefully things start really pumping up from there.
Yep.
So 1 year from now, obviously, is before that point. I think the game will definitely be out. I'm very confident to say open beta will be out by a year from now. And that's going to bring a lot more people into the game, but it's not going to have that. We're not going to be to the point of mass adoption at that point.
Yep.
So I do see us going up about maybe a 3 or 4x from here, especially seeing what it could jump 30% in 1 day.
Yep.
I'm actually going to go a little higher than your prediction there, and I'm going to say we get up to $350.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's we very well could. I mean, it's there's obviously a lot of factors.
Yep.
We'll see who's closer. Price is Right rules. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. So sILV2. What do you think about sILV2?
sILV2, 90.
90?
90. Yeah.
So for me, if I believe that ILV is going to get to 350, the sILV right now is about 55 to 60% of an ILV token.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once the game comes out, there's going to be a lot more buy pressure on sILV2 because people are going to be using that for in-game spending.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sILV2 could be about 70% of that, of an ILV token. So this is going to be horrible math off the top of my head. But if we have 350, I think we could be looking at a 200, 210 maybe for that sILV2. I'm sure someone's going to leave a comment about how horrible my 70% of 350 is.
Yeah.
But go easy on me. It's been a while since I've been in school.
You're bullish then. This is
I guess those are some bullish numbers.
Yeah,
even though we know that ILV hit close to
I know
1900 at one point.
Well, that's just the crypto market, man. That was the bull run, but those days are past at this point.
They are. Okay, so let's move on. A tier 1 land.
Yep.
You know, I'll start with that. I think a tier 1 land, the last time I looked, was about a third of an ETH.
Yep.
I think
I'm just gonna do it in ETH terms. Like I'm just gonna,
I guess
give an ETH
yeah.
price on this. We don't have to rack our brains. We're not smart enough to do all the math here.
I think some more of this land will get bought up when the main game comes out and there is earning potential. So I think we could get up to about half an ETH for a tier 1 land.
Half an ETH. That sounds good. I feel very similar. I think it's gonna be right around there. Like at that point, like Illuvium 0 is gonna be out. Like we're gonna be. I think it could even be a little higher. I'm gonna go like 0.75.
0.75. Okay. Yep. Now tier 5 land. We don't know when this is gonna come out. I asked Kieran about this too. He said by next spring it should definitely happen. At least the first 2 tier 5 should be out. So what do we think about that? I remember thinking back during the original land sale, like $1 million.
$1 million, yeah, that was always the number. It's like you got the sponsorships, like everything, like it comes in with it. It's you got the arena on your land, like.
I think that number is going to be probably a lot lower this time around, just because of the whole market in general. So I'm actually saying that a tier 5 land will be around 600,000.
Okay, I like that number. That's pretty good. It's a bit of a downturn, but I think the whales in the space, like they still understand the potential of tier 5. If they liked tier 5 6 months ago, they're still gonna like it now.
Mm-hmm.
And as the team progresses and things, I feel like they're gonna sell this land at the proper time.
Yep.
So I'm gonna stick with the $1 million.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with it. Yep.
All right. An Atlas. You're playing the game.
Yeah,
you jump into the game.
This is exciting now because now we're thinking about like actually playing the game and like
exactly.
being in the game. You catch an Atlas, right? So
yeah. So say you discovered the game in October. You jump in, you play some free to play, and you're like, I want to get some Illuvials. I want to buy myself an Atlas.
Yep.
How much are you going to pay for that Atlas?
Ooh.
This is tough.
This is
a
tough.
tough one.
So like I'm just thinking like, all right, so you have to like cure the shard, catch the Atlas. How many shards do you need to catch the Atlas? So like people are gonna think about it that way. How much time is it spent?
Mm-hmm.
All these things we have no idea. So I'll say 0.03 ETH for an Atlas to start.
And I mean, what are we looking at? That's probably around $50.
Yeah. So
maybe depending on
if ETH's $15 right now, so $45, $50. Yeah.
Okay. So I've just from what I've heard, they're gonna have a low barrier to entry. I think travel is gonna be pretty cheap. Shards are gonna be pretty cheap, especially for the tier 1 regions. And Atlas is a tier 1 Illuvial.
Yep.
It's gonna be a fan favorite for sure.
Yep.
But it's gonna be a tier 1 Illuvial.
Yep.
It's the stage 1, and I think this is gonna be an Illuvial that I think just Illuvium wants everybody to be able to get. So I think getting an Atlas will actually be fairly cheap. I think we might be looking at 0.01 ETH.
Okay.
And again, I don't know what that is off the top of my head.
Like 15
maybe
bucks.
15,
Yep.
$20.
Yep.
I think it'll be pretty cheap to get that Atlas. On the other end of the spectrum, Rampfire, a tier 5 Illuvial.
Yep.
Regarded as probably the most powerful Illuvial in the game at this point, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably going to be pretty rare. So you want to buy a straight out Rampfire a year from now. How much are you going to pay for that one?
Dude, so that's like a lot of time. Like, because the way I think about it, one, catching a Rampfire in the wild is going to be insane when it happens. And like, think about the Twitch streams if someone does a live. That'd be super cool. But like, I think the majority of them are going to be coming from fusing Ramfies together.
Yep.
So like I'm trying to think like, dude, you have to catch
9
Ramfies.
9 Ramfies, yeah.
You know, fuse them, Rampfire, boom. But like the amount of time it'll take to catch those Ramfies, the amount of shards to take. So it's like there's a lot that goes into this, especially like early on, and there may only be like 3 Rampfires. So I'm gonna say 2 Ethereum.
Ooh, okay. I thought my number was high.
Okay.
Yeah, so you went up with that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so one thing that people have to think about is if you're just say a casual Illuvium gamer, but you still want this Rampfire, you can actually just buy a Ramfie and be able to use it as a Rampfire in the Ascendant arena. So the people who are just going to buy out a straight Rampfire are those who are really competitive, have a lot of money to spend, and probably going to be in that Leviathan arena really gambling and fighting for some ETH. So even though there's going to be less demand on people buying a Rampfire straight up, the people who do want that, I think are going to be willing to spend whatever it takes to get them.
Yeah.
What I was thinking was around that 1.25 ETH.
Okay.
A little lower than yours.
Yeah.
But I still think that when the Rampfire comes, there are going to be people who are going to spend really whatever it takes to get them.
Yeah.
And those are the same people who are probably not going to be spending a ton of time catching Ramfies in the overworld.
Yep.
They just want to buy it straight out so they can go into that Leviathan arena.
And think about how many people are going to get that Rampfire finally, fuse the Ramfies, everything, and then like how a lot of them are just going to hold it. They just want it, right?
Yeah.
So the market of actually the amount that are going to be available for sale, I think is going to be very small.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so one more thing for price predictions. Illuvitars. That's kind of hard because I know we have different tiers of Illuvitars. But let's just say a base portrait. What are we looking at? A base portrait from the first generation of Illuvitars.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're thinking about the basics, I mean, so the price for that I think is 0.015 if you're just buying the
Is it 015 or 025?
I think it's 015
Could be
and
015, yeah.
0.075
Yep.
for the more I know it's been a little while because
Yeah.
we've just had these delays in the
Yeah,
albums.
and who knows? Maybe those prices will change by the time they actually get out.
Right, but like what I'm getting at though is like, this is gonna be wave one, set one, like the originals. So a year from now, maybe we'll have 3 sets out. You're trying to get these older ones,
Yep.
like the first set Genesis. I would say it could probably like triple or maybe a little more. So I'll
Yep.
go like, I'll say for a base, I'll say 0.07 Ethereum.
0.07? Okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of like the floor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, what I'm thinking is probably around that same price. I would say maybe, let's say 0.1. I think there will be a lot of them minted, but there's also going to be a much bigger player base who won't be able to get them themselves.
Yep.
They might be they might have the 3rd Illuvitar sale, around this time next year, and there's going to be people in there who are just like, I want some of these Gen 1 Illuvitars. So they're going to pay a little premium for it. I'm hoping by that time I have an unopened disc from a Gen 1.
Yep.
I might be able to sell that for a little bit more.
I
think that will go much higher than my 0.1 prediction because you never know what you can get out of it.
Unopened packs are king. Like if you have the control to not open a pack, it's always a good thing.
Yeah.